Today's episode of the Feral Podcast is brought to you today by Talbot's Tap Room and Terrace, Mercer, Pennsylvania, 787 Mercer Grove City Road, Mercer, PA. Dining hours are Monday and Tuesday closed, Wednesday, Thursday, 12 to 9, Friday, Saturday, 12 to 10, and Sunday, 12 to 8. For reservations, please call 724-269-7687. And now let's start the show.
I get love where I come from. They sell drugs where I come from. A whole lot of thugs where I come from. Still a whole lot of love where I come from. You get hurt where I come from. But you can't search where I come from. You can die by the gun where I come from. Still a whole lot of love where I come from.
They ask me why I'm humble and I never smile. I tell them life is like a bachelor till I settle down. Life is like a boxing match, can you go several rounds? I'm from the F and fighting death in this ghetto town. A lot of stress on the brain, feel like a tumor. Said I retired, I was lying just to crush the rumors. I'm the big kahuna, I get you canned like tuna. And if I had a son, he would be my junior.
Welcome to Season 2, Episode 2 of the Feral Podcast. Welcome back. Thank you. It's your man, Podcast P, the mayor, the landlord, up in the building. We have our special guest / host for the week.
I'm Jessica, affectionately known as Mac, and we'll get into more about me a little bit later.
And it's your man, DJ Rich Stacks, a.k.a. Mr. I knew, bro, there was a reason why I saved these. Because, damn, son, what the hell is going on, bro? The lighting is fucking my eyes.
Wow.
No, what's up, though? What's up, though? How was your weekend? How was your weekend, Mike?
Oh, man. My homegirl, Linda Kidd, fast shout out to Linda Kidd. She came back from Virginia to have her 50th birthday party at the Elks. We had a good time. Got over my homeboy, Rico Shannon House, Sylvain Reed, Steve Royster, DeAndre Scott. We all got together, went showed love, represented for Class of 93. Fast shout out to Linda Kidd, Class of 93. Much love for your 50th birthday party. We had a blast.
50th to you, Ma.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what I did. Enjoyed myself this weekend for a change, because you know all I do is work. So I got away from grinding and took some time off for myself. And my boys, the Knicks, got them a good win. I was happy about that. So it was a nice, joyous weekend for myself. Go Knicks!
That's what's up. My weekend was pretty good too. Pretty chill, pretty low key. My uncle turned 80, so they had a little surprise birthday party for him. Still working at 80 years old, still up and moving. I'm like, I know that's
man. That's a blessing, truly a blessing.
Yes, for sure. Not my goals. I ain't trying to be working at 80.
Right.
I'm trying to still be getting around that good though. So.
Dig. I hope to be getting our residual money by 80.
Oh yeah,
for sure. Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, my weekend was decent. Made a 420 mix. Got up early in the morning. I think the time was around 4:20. Got my day together. Was listening to some real dope music this weekend. Nas and Premier dropped a new album. Fire. We'll get into that a little bit later. Spent time with my daughter. Me and her, we just had dinner. We went out, chilled out. I love spending time with the fam. And other than that, just made some beats and was watching a little bit about this rap war that's going on, man.
Oh, yeah. Shoot. The latest to jump into the dissing crowd of all this stuff, Chris Brown. Chris Brown jumped off. Yeah. You know, Chris is slash R&B slash rapper anyway. He did drop a rap album, I believe. It was half and half, but yeah, he came back Quavo.
Yeah, he came crazy.
Yeah.
He definitely came crazy. He came with the bars. I feel like I was telling y'all this a little bit earlier, but Chris Brown been wanting to get in the rap beef for years.
Yeah.
He
picked the opportune time.
No, literally. So I feel like he's really happy right now.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing I will say though that I don't like is I don't like when like they name drop women that they slept with.
Yeah,
like, you know,
yeah,
I feel like that's a little corny, but I get
it's
it.
that pillow talk.
Like he said, like sweet, like 10 times. So we get it. We get what you're saying.
Yeah,
we get it. We get it.
Yeah,
like,
one time is good, Chris.
That's how these new cats do with the dissing and all that stuff. Because back then, you know, Ice Cube with the No Vaseline.
Yeah, man. God damn, I was glad y'all said it all.
They stuck with it to the MC and came at each other. You know, LL Cool J, Kumo D, that battle. They came mano a mano at each other. They you know, they didn't go too far to the left or the right. It was like straight laser beam, boom, pow, I want you, it's me, yeah.
Right. It's like nowadays everybody getting into the mix. I heard the Rick Ross song. It ain't Ross' best work.
Yeah.
But like, it's really exciting to see the elements of hip hop still alive. That competitive nature. I love that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just waiting.
So I feel like Drake didn't drop it at first because of that. What you think? Because of that Get Money sample? Like, really trying to get it clear.
Exactly.
That's what I was thinking. Because it wasn't in the official version he dropped. Yeah.
Not at all.
And he took out some other shit out, like Step Out. Sorry.
Yeah, no. You feel free.
Okay.
We're Samuel L. Jackson friendly around here.
Okay,
yes, fine. Absolutely.
Okay. But the part where like he was talking about Rick Ross, like worry about what you got with and he was talking about Diddy. That part's not even in there. He completely changed that bar. I'm like, I can't with the smoke.
Yeah. But to think this whole thing starts over, a cease and desist, they said allegedly, got to use that on the podcast. Allegedly that Drake put out on French Montana of all people. And they said that's why the industry, like, when Drake dropped that, what is this, 21 against 1? Like,
yeah. Fact.
Everybody's at his throat. But the first diss track, good. Second one, trash. Anything dealing with AI is, I'm not feeling that.
That's spooky territory.
Yeah.
And on behalf of Drake, about him, out of this, I like rapping Drake. So hopefully I can get
more rapping Drake?
Yeah, at least like a solid eight song EP or something to just straight rap Drake out of all this for the summer. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
You know,
I seen he had posted something where he was like I'm in my bag like I was with If You Reading This Is Too Late, and that's one of my favorite rappers.
Okay.
And that's like a mix between like rapping Drake and singing Drake, but I like that vibe. So I'm like, okay, we'll get in your bag then.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it can, like y'all said earlier, evoke a whole bunch of dope hip hop and R&B and everything else this summer for our good listening ears, and we can be the benefit of this. So shoot, I'm all for it. I'm old school.
But I just don't want the rap beefs to get back to the East Coast, West Coast shit where it's senseless violence. We got too much of that going on right now, and that's why you gotta be conscious. You gotta be conscious of what you put out here in the universe. Because it always.
But speaking of being conscious about what you put out there and all that stuff, I love him. And everybody know that. I love J. Cole. That's my dude.
Oh, yeah.
I still don't agree with him taking that lick back. Yeah. That's like, he's a student of the game. You know what I mean?
He didn't let Nas down again.
Absolutely.
He definitely let Nas down.
Absolutely. Twice.
He definitely let Nas down.
Twice. With hair. 2 times. Horrible.
Oh my God.
And that's my guy, man.
It made me not even want to, because he apologized before I even listened to it.
Yeah.
It made me not even want to listen to it. Like, what's the point? You never retracted the shit.
Yeah.
You can't redact that statement.
What did you even say? You felt like you need to apologize. He didn't even say nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Like the whole song
it was bars though.
I really want to be friends, but
that was the whole vibe of it. Yeah.
Why you knock that stick off my shoulder? Come on, bro.
Right.
This is hip hop.
Right. I can't believe it.
I don't know. I still got love for Cole.
I got love for Cole too.
Me too.
I agree with what Drake said.
Right.
It was my
and I was looking at him in terms of like he's the hip hop LeBron James. Like he studied the game. He know the game. He know the analytics. This and that. So he know. To me, he know he shouldn't have did that. That's what hip hop is, the spirit, and how he came up. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, even Nas and Jay didn't. They didn't mend their ways until years later.
They still not really mended. They cool, but you know
they still going at each other.
Right. Like, I don't know why he did that. I don't know who told him to do that, but
right.
And it did look cool.
It was not.
Nah, disappointing me. But on to some positive stuff.
Yes, sir.
About hip hop. A Tribe Called Quest and Mary J. Blige gets entered into the.
Hey, let's get a round of applause. A round of applause for MJB and Tribe Called Quest. One of my favorite groups and one of my favorite artists of all time. Definitely good to see them getting inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
For sure.
Yes.
And I heard Mary J. finally got a line of boots coming out.
Oh, she got her own MJ
It's about time.
Yeah.
It's about
Yeah,
time.
chill.
We're walking.
Knee-high boots is like hard though. Yeah, man. Yeah.
I love Mary, but just as a Mary fan, I'm a very big Mary J. Blige fan. Mm-hmm. But do y'all think she could like really sing? Like, can she blow? Like, do you put her up there with like the great like singers, or is it just like her whole vibe?
It's
like,
a vibe.
She makes a good song. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel
like it's a difference between being a good singer and making a good song. Like, Mary's not gonna sing a song at church.
No, we definitely not gonna put her up there. I see where you're going, Matt. But we grew up with Mary. You know what I'm saying?
I did too.
I can't say nothing wrong about it. But you can't put her up there. Of course not. But like a Whitney Houston, a Mariah,
Aretha Franklin,
Fantasia, some of the vocalists. You know, Monica, Brandy.
Yeah,
absolutely not. She's not with them.
No, but she's a legend.
She came out at a time where she did her thing when like hip hop guys was pairing R&B with it and the mixtapes and back when it was singles and you know what I mean. So she came up and she ate good in that era and she carved out her lane for that. For artists like Faith Evans, you know what I mean? Yeah. Right. You know, yeah.
She is a true entertainer to her. Like she puts on,
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
100%. I would love to see Mary in concert too. I've never seen her in concert. But also one of the things I respect about her as an artist is like she's timeless. Like she was making music and she was that girl way back then. She can still make music with a Drake. Like you know what I'm saying? She can make music
still relevant.
too. Like I'm like, girl, you go ahead.
And that's what most artists seek in the industry is longevity like that. If you get it.
And she paved the smooth streets. Just like Saweetie and all them is like riding on them. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You figure, you know, somebody like that, a SZA, you know what I mean? Somebody like that. You know, they came up after her, and if it wasn't for Mary, they wouldn't be in the car right now, I believe. You know what I mean?
No, I agree.
A couple other ones.
You know,
heck shit.
I love Mary.
Yeah, that's my girl.
Definitely one of the dopest artists. And then Tribe Called Quest is just sad. Like, once again, De La Soul received their flowers finally after all those years. And Dave wasn't here, and Fife ain't here right now. But it's definitely a dope scene to see them getting inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. The Tribe, man, it's a funky introduction. I'm not saying. Tell your father send the telegram. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to the Tribe. I left my wallet and it was done, though.
First track we heard. That's back when you had the Nissan.
Yeah, man. And now I got my heart for the evening. Too much you confuse me. But my find a way. You know, I used to turn curses out. Yeah, we used to be about my
messing me up my whole head. Teasing me just like teacher did Martin. Now look at what you starting. Schoolboy crush.
Didn't know what the hush the whole meaning. But you can't. Yeah.
Dog is a waving pen. Speaking of which, all right, back to the
shout out to the Tribe Called Quest. Much deserved.
True hip hop.
Yes, sir.
But Martin, as you was talking about earlier, we is an NBA postseason, and we seen some good games this past week. Yeah. Good Cavs, man. Good Cavs.
I thought and Spider Mitchell was out for the season.
Nah, he's not out. He was. Yeah. And also the Knicks did very well, but
thank you.
It's starting to get scary though, man, because LeBron James, I don't know, he might be looking his age now.
Oh.
Like
they said as he's regressing in some of his skill set, they said he looking like Magic Johnson in this prime now. And that's still a compliment in itself.
Oh, yeah,
true. I mean, that ain't even a diss. Like, if that's what they saying about that man, then goddamn it.
But you know what my biggest wish is?
What,
is that the Cavs just go ahead.
Stop it.
Get Bronny in the second round. LeBron, let's do this back in the land, bro.
Cleveland, this is for you.
I want the commercial to be Cleveland, I'm coming home one more time. We get another chip. Did he get that chip and he retired?
One more kid.
I'm thinking it's possible.
But we talked about this before, earlier, because with his son entering the transfer portal and possibly going back to play with his uncle, I would imagine he called that boy, that man his uncle, at Duquesne.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Because he's
close to this area.
Right? And I can see that happening. You know what I mean? But they did say that on the recruiting trail, when he first started getting, his college referrals and whatever, they said Ohio State was second on the recruiting trail. So he might go there / Duquesne. I could see him probably going to Duquesne to play for his uncle Drew.
Yeah, man.
That'd be dope. That would be dope.
I'm manifesting it right now.
And they love storylines. You know, LeBron is like a curator of the game. Everything he's doing is like he's thought about. They've sat down, planned this stuff out, written it out, and this ain't no hate. I say this to my son and Richard the other day. I think that he is kind of got the timeline and a little bit of pressure on his son to come join him so he can make that part of his story. He got to chill with that, in my opinion, and just let his son come up in this time. Now, granted, his medical issue threw him off. You know what I mean? If he didn't have a heart issue, then all that could have worked out in a timely manner. But that set him back. He didn't get a chance to really develop in college like how he could have. You know what I mean? He kind of do have the size, but Bryce is the one. I'm saying Bryce is going to be the one.
Yeah, Bryce is looking like, he's going to be the stronger one out of the two brothers. Yeah.
And Bryce is still stretching up too.
It's odd when you see somebody start their career and they're working their way towards the back end of it.
Yeah.
Like golfers say, that back nine, it's crazy to see the development. I seen this dude play against George Junior Republic.
Wow.
As a high school student.
That's nuts.
And all the way through the NBA to become one of the greatest, if not, I know I'm about to stir the pot of shit real quick, if not the greatest basketball player of all time.
Yeah.
Bro, we grew up with Jordan. Stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I've been hearing people talk about like how different the league is now. It's like
it's softer.
You think it's softer?
They say the league is way softer than what it was back in the 80s and 90s.
You know what? I'm not gonna be that old here and say that. I'm gonna say they changed the game to where it's open. Because back then it was more congested. It was a get in the lane game. Before the 3-point line came, it was all twos. You had to get to the basket. Coaches really wasn't like, on that stuff, three, pull up with the three stuff. You know what I mean? So the game has changed. You know what I mean? But it was a little tougher, because
like
you could
physical, you mean?
Back then you can hand check. You can hand check back then. You know what I mean? They wasn't calling it. As soon as you put a pinky on a player down, they call it a foul. So
they might call
some of the rules and stuff have
They
changed.
say the athleticism is like, they say that a lot of these players are more athletic.
Definitely more athletic.
It's way more technical.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There was guys that was like that like may have like had size that was like tall, but nowadays they got the size, the athleticism, like you said. So it's just like crazy. They label them freaks of nature, but yeah. So back then it was like slowed down, bland. Coaches wasn't having that. As soon as you cross the half court, you could shoot. You had to make so many passes, and so the game did change from that to
this.
this.
It got more swaggy. Like it's just more culture. Like they letting people be themselves.
It's a big business. They got to make it flashy.
Yeah,
definitely got to make it flashy.
I feel like girls basketball like heating up too.
Oh yeah, shout out to the WNBA.
So get them girls they checks, please.
Absolutely, definitely needs to be some equal type of monetization.
But we talked about that last year, though. They gotta
play more games.
Play more games. Things got to change. Women don't even support it. Like Keeg said too. Women don't even support the WNBA like how they support the NBA and all that stuff. So women got to start watching and pumping that up and promoting viewership and everything. For real.
But I think these college girls are like turning it up. Like,
definitely.
They're so entertaining.
I'm guaranteeing. I'm guaranteeing that the viewership of WNBA will probably increase next year due to this draft class.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you got tension. They already pre-built it up.
Yeah.
Like they're working their way up. And once again, flashing themselves.
And then both of the big girls went to Chicago. Cardoza and the one other Angel Reese.
Angel Reese,
the Chicago fan. What? Yeah, that's a fanfare team already. That's like the female Twin Towers. So they're like, that I see what they did right there with that. They made sure, they went there. So hopefully, they can carry that momentum over into WNBA, get some viewership, get more people to go out to these games.
Sure.
I would like to go to a WNBA game. I'm down to go I'm trying to go to a lot of different sports venues. I want to go to a hockey game still. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure. Hockey is lit.
Go Pants.
They say it's like super, like that's one of the most aggressive.
I mean, think about it. Yeah. You don't get kicked out for fighting. This is only a little penalty. Like,
Right.
They don't even care.
They don't care at all.
Right. It's cool.
I see one hockey fight where they cleared the benches and they was all fighting.
Yeah. I seen that one on ESPN too. In the first 5 minutes, it was like 4 or 5 fights. Yeah, in the first 5 minutes. Because they had played back-to-back games and something had jumped off, so it was already on site. They was like, you know what? All right. Don't forget we play tomorrow night.
Maybe never seen a fight.
Yeah.
I got a fight tonight.
Yeah. I was amazed by that one. I'm like, wow, it was like 5 different fights in the first 5 minutes. Unbelievable. But coming up, we have a minute with More P, and my minute and More P segment this week is the great Stuart Scott. ESPN is doing a 30 for 30 for my man Stuart Scott. And it's from the director, Andre Gaines. Andre Gaines, who also did a movie After Jackie. It came out in 2022, After Jackie Robinson. It's the story of the second wave of talented black baseball players after Jackie Robinson, including some of which are Bill White, Kurt Flood, Bob Gibbons, who are next up in the fight for equality. So Andre Gaines, he's responsible for that, and now he's responsible for putting out this 30 for 30 for the great Stuart Scott. And I know and believe the great Stuart Scott would be so proud and happy because he's responsible for transcending broadcasting and journalism and sports and culture in ways that they're just now seeing. All these sportscasters on ESPN right now is baby Stuart Scott's. The flavor. Definitely. And how you hear them implement the latest hip-hop songs and all that stuff. That's Stu Scott. For sure. His legend still lives on today. So make sure you guys check out that 30 for 30 on ESPN that's coming up about the great Stuart Scott, man.
Yeah, that's going to be a definitely good watch. Stuart Scott definitely changed the landscape of sports broadcasting because it was good to see somebody that represented the hip-hop community in sports. We never seen that before, Stuart Scott. And not only the poise and dignity with which he conducted himself after he found out he had a life-terminating illness was just amazing. I take it so far to go as to say that I honestly believe if there wasn't no Stuart Scott, there wouldn't be no Cameron and Mace doing their podcast right now.
Bruh, Cameron and Mace, bruh. We're talking about
$1 million worth of game.
Bruh. It wouldn't be Stephen A. Smith.
Not at all.
Ryan Clark. None of the brothers wouldn't probably be up on there. He kicked down the door and paved the smooth streets that all them brothers is riding on and create opportunity and lanes for these guys to get them big bucks and stuff, man. For real. Shout out to Stuart Scott.
Stuart Scott.
One of y'all tap into that. 30 for Stuart Scott, man. A true legend. A true legend, for real.
So, now on the show, we usually do this segment called In the Booth with Rich Stats, where I give you the latest and greatest, but since we have present company, it's only right that we discuss this project right here that I waited patiently for, and when it dropped,
which is the latest and greatest.
The latest and greatest.
It was a very soft drop.
It was a soft drop.
It was a soft drop.
It's a dope project. Make sure y'all get out there and support. Get on all Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, and take a listen to this project.
That's right. This is the official relaunch right here.
Yes, sir. Right here.
Official relaunch right here on the Thorough Podcast. Yes, you know how we do. We always inspire, motivate, educate, and entertain.
Yes, sir.
That's right. And we are always here to promote and uplift people in our community and outside the community because we are one. That's how we do. Coming through.
Definitely.
Appreciate y'all.
So usually when I go through and listen to an album, I do not listen to it in synchronicity. I don't look at
like in order? Okay.
I always shuffle.
Really?
When I put your album on, because I want to hear outside of the context of what the artist was thinking about. Yeah.
That's interesting.
And to see if it's cohesive. And first song that pops up has a loop that I've been trying to loop forever. And it was Maxwell. And to me,
shout out to Town.
Yeah, that song captured my imagination right from the rip.
Yeah.
With your beat selection, what motivates you? First and foremost, do you write first and listen, or do you listen and write?
I write first. I always write first. I'm like a poet at heart, so like I feel like I can't even rap to a beat. I mean, I can rap on a beat, but like to play a beat and try to like write to it, I have to pause it to even get my next couple bars out. Then I have to, then I listen to the beat to like, okay, let me catch my flow, see how I want to ride it. But like most of the time, I write the song way before. Like some of these songs I literally wrote in high school. Like it's like wow.
Music be timeless like that.
Yeah, timeless like that.
Good quality content and from the heart and spirit. It's timeless.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Matter of fact, I tried Call Quest on the one joint, Richard might remember, but I can't remember, on the beat. And my man said, Q-Tip said, should I say the year? And the producer said, nah, don't say the year.
Yeah.
And we talked about that and we came up with,
I know the song. It's time to wreck your body.
Yeah.
It's time to wreck your body and return to part. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Good music is always timeless.
Yes,
and that's incredible because when you get a good song and like I love it, dope, you can feel the emotion in the song.
Yeah.
Like your work and your beat selection is like super dope. Your motivation for your music, where does it come from?
Really, I'm inspired by so many different things. Like I feel like I love music. I love just creativity in general. So movies, like shows, anything. I could draw inspiration from anything. So it literally could be like I'm scrolling on social media and I hear somebody say something, like, "Yo, that's a bar." I'm about to do a whole song about that. And it's crazy because I want to say experience, and a lot of times it does come from experience, but it's like not what inspires it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like when I'm inspired to write about something in particular, I'll pull from my experiences, but I feel like there's also like a God factor in anything that I do. Like everything I do is only by the grace of God,
Definitely.
So I feel like a lot of times I'll write a song before I really go through it, like, or I'll go through it like on a minor scale and I'll be like, wow, like now I done really went through that. I need to put that shit back. Like, wow.
Like you almost manifested it.
Yeah, like, but that's why I'm like, okay, well, let me at least try to get one love song on here because that's like the hardest thing for me to write. So I was like, try to put one love.
When art translates to life.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I Focus on Myself.
Okay.
Yeah. That was one of the tracks on there that I absolutely loved because when I heard it, I'm like, damn, it sounds like she's like in a tiny dope concert, tiny desk concert type vibe. That's what I got from it. I'm like, and instrumentation on there. I'm like, I played that back a couple times.
One of the only songs that I like heard the beat first, and I was like, oh yeah. Like I need to put something on that.
And I love what you did with it and how you,
I be having these
That's
little. I'm going back and forth with myself as an artist because, like, I did not want to sing that part that I sang. Like, I did not want to sing it. Like, I didn't want to have to listen to myself singing it. Like, so, like, I was trying to get somebody to sing the hook. Like, I had, like, even somebody come in the studio and do it, and it just didn't lay how I wanted it to lay. Like, so I was like, man, I'm just going to have to do it.
You couldn't get in contact with Miss Saunders? Because she always,
Yeah, I have her.
I know that's click.
Yeah,
I know.
But
fast shout out to Miss Saunders. That's a dope job. Right.
So that wasn't an option. But yeah, no, for sure.
And then your flip on Freak Like Me was super dope. Like,
thank you.
Yeah, I love when an artist takes and interprets a song and puts it in their own work.
Yeah,
super dope.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah,
I feel like I wanted to like kind of pay tribute to like a few different artists on there, like Janet, Biggie.
That was my next one. Yeah, I was gonna say that. The 10 Breakup Commandments. I was loving that 10 Breakup Commandments because I'm a big Biggie fan. I'm up there. I'm like, oh, I said no, she didn't. Man, I was like, no, she didn't. No, she. Yeah. I was like, no, she didn't. That's like, you know what?
Yeah. Guilty. I had a lot of fun making this, and I always knew in my like most of those songs have been written for years. Can I see?
Yes.
Like, okay, He Loves Me. That was written for years. Friend Zone was actually Pup's song. That was actually his song, and I was the feature on it. And I was like, this kind of fit like in the storyline I need for the tape. So let me just go ahead and throw that on my album hits like that. Let me see what else been written. He Loves Me Not. That was written. Oh my gosh! Like how did that 2015, 2016? Oh, Dancing with the Devil too. That's like 2017.
That's another blazer right here.
Yeah, that's the Maxwell. Yeah. Leave You Alone was written for a little minute. Love Sick. It wasn't like the full song, but like some of them like verses, part of those was like written.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I kind of just was like, oh yeah, I still got that one verse I never used. Voicemail was like one of the newest songs on here. I think I Love Him was the last song I made because I told you I wanted to leave one love song. I wouldn't tell a story without it. But Voicemail, very old, and then 10 Breakup Commandments was newer too. But most of those songs was written like a long time ago. Like my mom passed away 2020. She heard every song on this tape. It didn't drop till 2023. So that just tell you how long I just had the songs and just held on was tweaking it and like trying to make it perfect. Like the first, I had found a track list of like the first track list that I wrote for the album, and it was like only like 4 of them songs on there, and it was like all other songs, and it just wasn't telling a story that I wanted to tell. So like once I finally got it to tell the story, I was just like, I'm just dropping it. Enough is enough. Sure. Enough is enough. Like, I will tweak this. It will never be perfect. Like, even still when I listen to it, I'm like, dang, I should have put some ad-lib behind that. Or I should have, like, I should have flipped it like this or said that. Like, so I feel like as an artist, it's never, your album will never
content what you write.
Yeah, like, I really I need somebody to just be like, Kanye me. Your album dropping today. It's dropping today. So. Right. That's really what I need. Like, but
let's get the rundown real quick. If you didn't know, you were talking to not only a musician, we've been talking about music, but you're dealing with a brand maker.
Yes, sir.
Miss Get Your LLC. Miss I can plan a perfect vacation for you. Miss, I got my own brand. Mac and Paul Trades LLC. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Jessica Talbert-Kirsch. Official introduction.
The Mac of all trades.
The Mac of all trades. Definitely a hustler's hustler. There's no negative connotation on hustler because we all out here hustling to survive.
She's a regular serial entrepreneur.
Yes, a serial.
You know what I mean? She might as well have 8 hands. And wear many, many hats. With many, many hats.
Yeah. I got my start in entrepreneurship, Max Beauty Boutique. Which is my online boutique. And that's really where like I was like, oh yeah, this is it. I always knew I wanted to like be my own boss. I just really didn't. But at that time too, I never really had a job that I liked going to or that I liked, and that's kind of changed. So like right now I'm like, okay, I'm okay with having a day job also. But at that time I was like, this is not it. Like I never wanted to really quit a job. Like I kind of just like reached the end of that journey. Like I went to the military or I went away to college or, you know what I mean? Like, so it was always just like the evolution of that. Like the last job I had before the job I have now, I was like a manager over 21 at the outlets and that closed down. So it was just like, kind of like, God was like, girl, like get on with it. Like this is not, you feel me? This is not it. And so I did the entrepreneurship thing. Like I started it my last couple semesters in college and been doing it ever since. I just did that for a few years and then I went back and got a day job because I was like, before I forget everything I learned in college, let me put this to use for a little bit. And it's always good to kind of get into a field and learn what you can from an established organization so that you can kind of use that, you know, knowledge in the future too. And I love what I do and I love where I work too. So that's a benefit. But started with the boutique. I was trapping the hats. Like that was just like an exciting time for me because it was just like as hard as I'm willing to work, like that's how much I can make. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I would go, me and my friends would go to the High Life for karaoke night. I have all my hats in the trunk. Like they'd be like, oh Mac, like I've been needing to get with you to get a hat. Oh, I got it with me. So you know, sell me a drink.
Stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready.
I ain't even got no cash on me. I got a card reader, baby. Like, what you trying to do? So I got cash out there, though. Like, it was not, you wasn't getting off that easy. You want a hat or not? Like, but I done sold that hat off of my head a couple times. Like, it just was like, and that was exciting. And I was like, oh yeah, like, that's it. You know what I'm saying? But just people seeing me like move like that and was like, yo, like I could start a business too. You know what I mean? Because like that was 2017. End of 2017 is when I filed my LLC for Max Beauty Boutique. So I really started like launching 2018. But it just wasn't like how it is now where like everybody got a business, everybody got a hustle, which I love. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't like that then. So I feel like people was just like, yo, like, well, how did you do it? Or who made your logo? Or who did your website? And I was like, I did. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, you get it because like, when you a research heavy person, you like, your first go-to is, let me figure out how I can do this.
Do this myself. You're trying to cut costs.
Right.
Like, that's the main thing.
Right. Yeah. And I never even really was like, oh, let me go to somebody and figure out how they can do this for me. I was just kind of like, let me figure out what I have to do. And of course, like now, like being a little more established in my business, I don't want to be doing everything. So now I'm like, who can I get to do this for me?
Right.
But just my second business, Knack of All Trades Co., that's my business consulting company. And that came about just naturally from people asking me questions and me spending time, like, you know, putting people on game. But and that was cool for me because that's always what I wanted, was for everybody to be built and stuff up. I mean, since I became an entrepreneur, I was like, oh, look, girl, you're so good at makeup. Like, let's start your makeup business. Like, I'll make your LLC, your website, your logo. Like, you know, like, that's just the type of person I am. But I felt myself, like, investing in people, like, my time, which is, like, the most valuable thing.
And that's absolutely never get back.
Never get back. And they just let it fizzle out because it's not no investment. It's just, your homegirl put you on game, and it's like, you can do with it what you want, you know? So I was like, yeah, no. It's time for me to start charging for my time. So I was like, okay. And then, you know, it was just like, you know, beneficial both ways because now I'm making money. So whether or not you take this and run with it, at least I got paid for my time. And then also like just giving people the opportunity to have somebody they were comfortable with, or at least that they knew wasn't trying to swindle them, or, you know what I'm saying? Anything like that. So, I mean, that second business just came about naturally. And now I'm just to a point in my businesses where I'm like, I'm trying to be as hands-off as I can be because there's 100 million other things I want to do still. So I'm trying to get my businesses to not be so dependent on me. So like with my consulting company, like instead of, okay, I got to build, you know, 100 websites this year to make 6 figures. Like I don't want it to be that. I don't want it to take up more of my time to be able to, you know, make what I'm trying to make. So just kind of looking into making it more passive. And still beneficial, still providing that value, but like if you want that one-on-one time with me, like that's gonna be a pretty penny. You know what I'm saying? I'm still gonna get the information, the resources to you, but if you want that FaceTime, it's gonna be, you know, pay to play for sure. So that's where I'm at. And then with the boutique, I'm trying to do like something completely different. I don't really want to get into it too much because it's like early, but I want it to be like where multiple beauty brands, local beauty brands can benefit off of it, and kind of like taking the piece that I'm the best at, which is the fulfillment, the shipping, the marketing, and then taking the piece that they're the best at, which is creating quality products, and then just making a way where everybody can eat and kind of getting them to like, you know, reach a wider audience, and then, you know what I'm saying? So that's the little seed that I got planted. So
some Black Wall Street directory.
Yes. Business direct. But you know, like online, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
So we see in the beginnings of a Jeff Bezos plan. I see what you're doing.
What I was
whole idea in my head right
now. You kind of answered what I was going to ask you. Because I was going to ask you, with the rapid evolution of digital marketing, what emerging trends do you believe will have a significant impact on brand building in the near future?
Oh, so many things. I feel like AI, like that's one of the biggest things. And we talked about like the negative sides of AI, but there's so many positive sides of AI too. Yeah. Like the things that you don't have to get tripped up on. Like when I'm thinking about like an idea or a process, I like will brain dump in the chat GPT. Like, you know, and kind of I always have my business, like the gist of my business already laid out. Like, this is the business, this is what it does, this is who it serves, this is the brand voice, this is what it should sound like, which are keys that you should put into chat GPT. Goddamn. AI. AI.
You know what you're saying.
That's what you need to do, you know what I'm saying? So that it could be more tailored towards your audience and towards your brand, but then just letting it kind of organize the data. Like, even if I have a list of things I want to provide and I put in Chat GPT, Lord. And say like alphabetize this or put this in the order that makes the most sense, or you know what I'm saying, like shorten this or make it more understandable or make it, you know, yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. So just even things like that is so great. But I'm like, man, like I remember writing all these freaking essays in college, and like the urge to hop into Chat GPT would be crazy for me because I was one of those last minute girlies. Like,
swim like 5 hours before the test.
Right? Yeah. Like, no, seriously. But yeah. So AI is a big thing that could be like a really great help. Like even with like I just created this program. Right now it's called the Business Success. I should have brought my workbook to show y'all too. Dang, I should have that. But I got a workbook and like this program to help like small business owners generate their business plan and just get comfortable speaking about their business so that they can get investors, so that they can pitch their business to customers and things like that. So I just developed that. But one of the things that I did when I did the Boss Academy way back when, I was kind of doing the same thing, like Get a 9 game, but every video I did, I had to record myself. But with AI, I just type out the script and I let AI voice do it. They generate the video, you know, I just go through, refine it, make sure that everything is correct. But
and it fits.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
exactly.
Definitely.
And it just like, it simplifies processes where I don't have to spend so much of my time doing this thing. You know what I mean? Where I could have hired somebody to voice over that, I could just have an AI person do it. Now, obviously, like when I'm a billionaire, I'm gonna be paying people to do everything.
That's right. Speak it into existence.
You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna manifest that.
That's right. I'll like make sure that money goes back into people's pockets. But when you're on a budget, you know what I'm saying? You try and do things the way that makes the most sense. It's definitely a helpful tool. So that's one thing. As far as like digital marketing in general, right now, social media is still free. Like you can do paid advertisements, you can buy, you know, the blue checks and things like that. But right now it's still free. It's one of the biggest resources. I think that the biggest thing that I'm learning though is that everybody has a personal brand and then you have your business brands. Right. So like instead of focusing on building multiple business brands up, focus on building your personal brand, and then people will become so interested in you, they want to know what else do you do and how can I be in on it. So like focus on building that personal brand, put things where it makes sense. Like I just had to have this conversation with myself, like music, travel, like the things like that that are exciting, entertaining, that's Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm not on Instagram no more with my business stuff, with my speaking engagements, with things like that. That's why I'm on Facebook with it. But you know what I'm saying? Because those are the people that know me. They'll be like, "Oh, you're speaking at this NAACP event next week." I'm gonna like accepted to that. My Instagram followers aren't doing that. So I'm on Facebook with like that kind of thing, and then I'm not on Facebook with the freak like me and the. I'm not on Facebook with that. So I'm just trying to like, you know, make everything make the most sense. But social media is such a great tool if you're not on some type of social media. If you're in the professional sphere, you should also be on LinkedIn. That's a great resource as well. Free resource. So that definitely.
That links all your socials, right? Like your social links.
You LinkedIn is just like a professional platform where you can put on there like your schooling, your work experience, and then like employers look on there for candidates that they can reach out to, and you can look on there and connect with like people in the professional realm too. So like that's where I got like some of the Slippery Rock alum, you know, like people like that. My professors, like people that I've worked with, coworkers, things like that.
Got you. My daughter is interested in starting her own business.
Okay.
What were some of the hurdles? Because I know you've been hustling for a minute. You've been doing this for a while, since you were younger. And she's about to turn 14 this year, and she's thinking about starting making wax melts and stuff.
Okay.
What were some of the hurdles you had to overcome at a young age, being young and trying to start a business?
Well, I feel like being young really didn't have too much to do with it. Unless like capital is a problem, but even that, like, I guess I had a couple dollars, like, you know what I'm saying? Because like I've been working since I was old enough to work. But even that is not really as big of a hurdle these days because there's just so many different options and things are so readily available. I would say the biggest hurdles that I encountered though were just, you know, learning as you go, just learning the hard way from things like
trial and error.
Exactly. That was, I mean, that was one of the hardest things, you know, spending money on, like, I had a product-based business at first. So, like, I'm, you know, buying clothes from different vendors. And if it wasn't up to par, I didn't sell it. You know what I'm saying? So you take L's on that. You know what I mean? You take L's on things like, you know, if they send me something that they call it a large, and I know that's a small, because I can, you know what I'm saying? Like, those are things sometimes you take L's on. Also, like, I would say, you know, something to be mindful for is just don't think that you have to have like a catalog of 1,000 different products to offer people to be able to start a business. Like, honestly, I told probably like 3 people that I was going to start a boutique before I just did it. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't one of those people that's like, I'm going to start a boutique. Yeah, I'm gonna, you know, and like, I just like literally, I said it 3 times. It was done. It was like, it's launching. You know what I mean? Like, but one of the people I told was Simone Reed. Shout out to Simone Reed. That's my dog. But she said, because I'm like talking about like all these things I wanted to do, you know, and she was like, get you like 3, 5 products and launch with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't feel like you have to have like a full online brand like you Forever 21 and you about to just have you know, a whole catalog of items for people to choose from. Like, you can launch with 3 to 5. And when she said that to me, I didn't even receive it in that moment. I was like, nah, I'm about to have 100 products on the page. You feel me? Like, that's how I'm thinking in my head. But then as I started to be like, oh, okay, that's an L, that's an L, that's trash. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, word, we're going to start off with these 3. But, you know, you kind of like learn it as you go. So that would be one of my biggest pieces of advice is don't let things like that stop you from launching, because the most important thing is to launch. Like, there's always going to be more things for you to learn. There's always going to be ways for you to grow and expand your business. But you have to start to be able to do that. And you can learn while you're in it. You don't have to know everything before you do it. You can learn while you're in it. So if she got 1 cent and she started with that 1 cent, like, then, you know, do that. And
it's
then
time to go.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
And you can always rebrand. Another thing I would say is not to jump into like legal formation too soon, because technically you could operate as a sole proprietor, which just means that you're not separate from your business. Now, there's a liability factor there, but as a small business, the chances of you needing that liability protection are small. Gotcha. So you can always start off as an entrepreneur. You can report that income on your tax return without having an LLC or any like legal business formation. The only thing is if you want to operate under a name that's different from your actual name. So like I could sell wax melts as Jessica Talbert-Kirsch. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have to form any kind of business to do that. But if I want to call it Mak's Beauty Boutique, then I have to register that name.
LLC, yeah.
Message.
You don't even have the LLC.
Message.
You just register that fictitious name. It's called registration of fictitious name. It's like $70. You just register that name, and then now you can legally operate under that name. And as a single member LLC, they're likely going to tax you as a sole proprietor anyway, unless you ask them not to. Unless you say, I want to be taxed as a corporation, and this specific type of corporation. They're going to tax you as a sole proprietor anyway. So you're going to pay self-employment tax, which is a hurt. Do not recommend.
I just seen your post.
Do not recommend at all. I definitely would recommend to any new LLC owners to immediately, as soon as you file, let the IRS know I want to be taxed as a corporation, and then specifically an S corporation is what I would recommend, just because C corporations, which are just what most people refer to as corporation, they are taxed twice. So the business income is taxed as the profits of the business are taxed, and then the dividends that shareholders receive are also taxed. So the business is taxed, and then the people are taxed. So an S corp kind of avoids that. They use pass-through taxation like an LLC or sole proprietor. So the income passes through the business, and then it's reported on the individuals or the owner's income tax return. So an S corp allows that pass-through taxation, and you only pay self-employment tax on what you take as a salary. Gotcha. So you can receive distributions from the business to conduct business, but anything you receive as a salary has that self-employment tax, which is extremely high. They wax.
Financial tips with Mac, you see?
Yes. Boom. Yes.
Wow. But I am not your financial advisor or your lawyer or your accountant, so are you with your mama?
That was a little bit of free game.
And every guest we have come on, we like to present flowers. Jess, we have some gifts for you. You know, we would like to present to you.
Oh my gosh,
you blessed us with a gift. All three of us got a copy of this. Y'all go out and support, like I said, on all platforms. All platforms.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. This is so sweet.
Thanks, yeah.
Y'all want to open it right now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So, as being a professional, sometimes I know you lose track of stuff, and
oh my
I found those to be definitely important.
Absolutely. I love
write down things, because if you're like me and you're getting close to 50, which I'll be 50 next week,
oh my gosh, I love that.
I forget stuff, so I like to write stuff down. And nothing like a nice little journal.
Facts. I'm a sucker for stationery. For real. So you know me on that one. Oh my gosh, there's more.
Absolutely.
This is so great.
And while you're unpacking the gifts and showing the guests, showing the viewers. Yeah. For the journal.
That's the only thing I drink right now too is wine. So. Nice pick.
Rumor has it in the federal streets that
Candle.
You are heir.
Offset stress sometimes, so I'm a bigger aromatherapy dude. Like,
love that.
Just rumor has it on the streets of Pharaoh that you are heir to curses, and soon you will be having day parties on Saturdays, and yours truly will be the host, and also yours truly will be on the ones and twos from here and there. Look out for day parties in Curse's parking lot. Thrown by Mac Attack. And something like that.
It's funny. I always think about, curses. I feel like my dad definitely is just waiting for me to take it over. I'm the only one out of my siblings who will. So we'll see.
I know you already got
it a wine bar or something like that.
Would not be mad at that. Just as a wine bar, aka Old Curses. Come through. Coming to you soon. You heard it here first at the Throw Podcast.
But now looking at your father, excuse me, I can see where you get your work ethic from.
Yeah.
Because he is one of the hardest working individuals I know. Yeah. This man gets up early in the morning or late at night to go to work, comes home, opens the bar up, tends to his properties, spends time with the family like he is a hustler. Like he's out there really getting it. And that was one of the guys I looked up to growing up, like acquiring properties and stuff. Always like helping the time of need. Yeah. Always here for the city, and not only giving you your flowers, but like to give the daddy's flowers too.
Always have had a nice place for us to come frequent and enjoy ourselves Monday through Friday, not just the weekends. You know what I mean? Sunday to Sunday, Kim was open, providing a good spar for us. Even when we was in there on our man and shit. Lighting up, blazing blunts, firing up cushions, since all up in there. Kim knew what we was doing. We was in there spending money. As long as we wasn't in there fighting, Kim never had a problem with us. Exactly. You know what I mean? So fast shout out to Mr. Kim Kirsch. Like Rich said, I remember times when he, was running the bar. Was he a sheriff at one point in time too, I believe?
He was like a patrolman at the Air Force Base.
Right, see,
he still
doing
works
that,
at the Air Force
the
Base.
reserves, all that. Wore pretty many hats. A dad, so fast shout out to him. Always have been a model man in the community. To us men looked up to, a solid individual. Shout out, and good fruit. She comes from good stock, as old people say. She comes from good stock. You know what I mean?
Was definitely a big example for me. He had a hard upbringing. Like my dad been working like literally his whole life. Like 12 years old, he was pretty much on his own, like working at I don't want to say a random person because I know like neighbors was like, it was like a more close thing. He worked on a man's farm at like 12 years old and was basically like taking care of himself, raising himself. Like, you know how like you having those stories like, I used to have to ride my bike 12 miles. Like that's his story. Like that's his actual story. So definitely like when I think about like the father that he is, I'm very proud to be his daughter. Like I said, just to know his backstory, because like he really comes from like a really tough upbringing, like every peril that you can have. I mean, but he liked that white man. That's what, you know what I'm saying. Like that's where the only saving grace probably, but he definitely had like as hard as it could be childhood, and the fact that he was like such a good, mild-mannered, loving father that always provided for his family. Like I'm very proud to be his daughter. Like, and you know, because I was his son for a little bit before my little brother was old enough to be out there mowing them lawns and weed whacking. Like that was me. You know what I mean? So I'm happy to be his daughter these days. That's my dog for sure. Like he definitely paved the way for me. Like, because a lot of people, you don't get to see that. You don't get to see somebody in real time being a boss. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like having their own business and then also working and like, you know, it's just like, And then I see both sides of like coming up too. Like, you know what I'm saying? I live with my mom and I live with my dad. You know what I'm saying? And there was good times and there was hard times. So like, I know both, and like, sometimes the good is like not enough. Like, and that's why I thank God for everything that I've been through, because while the good is inspiring, like the bad
builds your character.
Exactly. Yes. And it's like, I don't want to use the word traumatizing because it makes it sound like that, but it's just like, you know, that's not going to be my story. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to be poor. I'm not going to be dependent on nobody. I'm not, even when I'm broke, I'm not going to be poor. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, I just knew that I was going to make something shake. Period. Like in the story, like no other options.
We ain't using words like broke. We have adjusted our mental and our vocabulary to say, right now we just financially adjust.
Right.
We're in the red. We're in the red right now.
Financially adjusted right now. I ain't got
it. I was once told by a wise man that we all get the same 24 hours in a day. It's what you do at that time.
Right.
You definitely got to lay out a foundation to get to where you want to be at, and if you don't work towards it, you're never going to get to where you need to be. But on behalf of the Funnel Podcast, Jess, I would like to thank you sincerely for coming through.
Of course,
it's definitely a dope interview.
Yes, absolutely.
Before you leave,
you
know what this is? You know what I'm doing? You know I'm a producer. I put you on the spot. We need to put 16 real quick.
What?
Yeah. I got the beat. We got the beat.
So
we do the outro.
We just prepping the outro. So we gonna, you know, take you out like how we normally take everybody out. You know what I mean? And you just gonna hop on in like you do. Okay. You should have taken
it. This is the first time hearing of this. Hold on. Okay.
All right. Well.
All right. Let me think about it. Okay.
And then we'll do like last week.
Oh wait, right now? Okay.
Okay,
wait, no, I need a little bit more time. Let's talk about something else. Like, literally, I can't think of nothing.
Well, no, sincerely again, though, thank you for coming through. Thank you. This is definitely a dope interview, and you gave out some jewels today, for real.
Absolutely. We greatly appreciate you. And you can be as good as the rest of them, but as bad as the worst. So don't test me. Get money, you better move over. Get money.
Oh my gosh, they really want me to rap, don't they?
Step with the record. Step with the record.
Talk that bass. Yeah, the landlord, the mayor, podcast B, signing off. Yeah.
I really appreciate having me. Okay, all right. I've done the back and forth bickering, texting other women. I'm fucked up and I go to flood lines just to spend my shit. I've been with a gentleman.
Yeah. That's and this your man.
I wasn't with it like at least thought about it. Listen to Facebook bar game.
And we out. And we out.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for watching.
Yeah.
Good night. By the way, hey, fat shout out to my man JB Swift, Kadar 7, Rob Red, and yours truly. Go check out that album right now. It just dropped on 420.
And make sure you hit up
Mighty.
Jess The Mak.
All platforms.
All sites.
And Jess The Mak.
Drop all your ads on all the sites so people don't know. They should know.
Okay. It's at Jess The Mak, MAK on Instagram. Jessica Talbert-Kirsch on Facebook. Jess The Mak on TikTok, Twitter, pretty much everywhere is Jess The Mak. So
yeah. Make sure y'all tune in next time for the Feral Podcast. We'll have a hotline open and everything. Thank you for tuning in this week. Season 2, Episode 2. We love y'all. Peace out.
Thanks for having me.